Hi from Anjani again. Have you ever wondered where your WhatsApp photos, your Gmail, your Netflix films, and your Google Docs actually live? Are they floating somewhere up in the clouds, drifting over Delhi and Dhaka and Colombo? Not quite, and the real answer is far more interesting, because the thing we casually call the cloud is quietly running your bank, your food delivery, your child's online class, and half of everything else you touch each day. Welcome to AIE Tech Explained in 10 minutes. Today we're demystifying cloud computing, what it actually is, how you already use it, why businesses love it, the myths worth killing, and what it means for South Asia. Here's the whole secret in one line. The cloud is simply someone else's computer, a very large, very well-guarded computer that you rent a slice of instead of buying outright. Instead of your files sitting only on your laptop, they sit in enormous secure buildings called data centers, rows and rows of humming machines, guarded, cooled, powered day and night, scattered across the world. You reach those machines over the internet whenever you need them, which is why your photos appear on a new phone the moment you log in, even though the old phone is long gone. Think of it like water. You could dig your own well, maintain the pump and worry about it every summer, or you could simply open the tap and use the city supply, paying for what you actually use. That's the cloud, infrastructure you use without owning, and here's the part that surprises people. You've been using it all day, every day, without ever once calling it cloud computing. Your WhatsApp chat backup, Google Photos, Gmail, Google Drive, YouTube, Netflix and Spotify are all cloud services. None of that lives on your phone. Your phone is just the window you look through. It goes further than entertainment. Your net banking, your UPI payment, that QR code taped beside the chaiwala's counter. Every one of those taps travels to a data center and back in under a second. Food delivery, ride-hailing, online shopping, your ticket bookings and government service portals all run the same way. The app on your screen is thin, and the heavy lifting happens somewhere else entirely. So if that's how ordinary people use the cloud, why have businesses fallen so completely in love with it? Enough that most new companies in the region never buy a server at all. The first reason is money. Buying servers means spending lakhs upfront on machines that sit idle most of the time, while the cloud turns that terrifying capital cost into a small monthly bill. Image prompt: a dusty unused server cabinet on one side, a simple monthly invoice on the other, flat vector illustration, deep teal and sky blue with warm amber accents. The second is that you pay only for what you use, the way you pay for electricity. An idle hour costs almost nothing, and you're never paying for capacity you guessed wrong about. Third is scale, and this matters enormously here. A shop that sees 10 times its normal traffic during Diwali or Eid can rent 10 times the computing power for a week, then quietly give it back. Fourth, backups happen automatically instead of living on a pen drive in someone's drawer. And fifth, your work is reachable from anywhere, the office, the train, a village with a decent signal. Put it together and a small clothing business in Delhi or Dhaka can take orders from Dubai, London and Toronto without owning a single data center. That was simply impossible 20 years ago. Now let's clear out 3 myths that stop people from using any of this properly, because the confusion costs families and small businesses real money every year. Myth 1. The cloud is somewhere up in the sky. In reality, it is very much on the ground. A network of guarded concrete buildings with generators, cooling systems, and fiber cables running under oceans. Myth 2. My files are less safe there. But large providers spend more on security in a month than most companies earn in a year, and a stolen laptop loses everything while a cloud account does not. That said, your half of the job is real. Use a strong unique password, switch on two-factor authentication, and never hand your OTP to a caller claiming to be from the bank. Myth 3. The cloud is only for big companies. Tell that to the freelancer editing video on a rented machine, the YouTuber storing footage, the tuition teacher running classes, or the family sharing wedding photos. Which brings us to why this matters so much in South Asia specifically, a region with enormous talent, a young population, and historically not enough capital to build heavy infrastructure. The cloud removes the biggest old barrier. 2 students with laptops can now launch a product that serves 1 million users because the expensive part is rented by the hour rather than bought up front. It's also the engine under the digital payments boom, under remote work for people earning global salaries from their hometown, and under the online education reaching students far from any big city. Add AI-powered businesses, government services moving online, and healthcare, teleconsultations, and scans read by specialists hundreds of kilometers away, and you see infrastructure that quietly levels the field. So what's next, and what should you actually keep an eye on over the next few years, as this becomes even more central to ordinary life? First, artificial intelligence lives in the cloud. The models answering your questions run on rented machines. And second, edge computing pushes some of that processing closer to you, so things happen faster. Third, faster networks like 5G and whatever follows will make cloud services feel instant, powering smarter city systems, digital healthcare records, and services we haven't thought of yet. Here's the short version to carry away. The cloud is simply remote computing delivered over the internet. You already depend on it every single day, and it is neither mysterious nor out of your reach. It saves money, adds flexibility, and makes innovation affordable, which is why understanding it is quietly becoming an essential digital skill for students, professionals, and entrepreneurs across the region. So tell us in the comments, what's one cloud service you use every day without thinking about it? And what technology would you like us to explain next? Subscribe to AIE Tech Explained and we'll break it down. Bye until we meet again.